Welcome back to Game On. Well, Chip Smith is a name that you may not know, but it's a familiar one to many pro athletes. Before Smith became the trainer of the pros, he helped a young university get its sports program on the map. The jerseys hanging on this wall represent hard work, determination, and adversity. And they were put here by this man, Chip Smith.
We do NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, Olympic athletes.
Professional and amateur athletes from all over the world come to Chip Smith's training facility in Norcross, Georgia, to get bigger, stronger, and faster.
We do speed development. We train very sport specific. We train movement specific within that sport, so we can increase bat speed. We can increase running speed, vertical. So we enhance performance for athletes at the highest level. Okay, what I'm going to do is just here.
Training athletes comes naturally for Coach Smith, partly because he was such an outstanding athlete himself. Coming out of high school, Smith was offered scholarships to play football at Tennessee, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Naval Academy. He committed to the University of North Carolina, but his situation changed after receiving one phone call.
Dr. Falwell called my dad and said, hey, I'd like to come down. I'd like to talk to Chip about coming up to Lynchburg Baptist College. We're going to start a football program. And he flew down, picked me up, and we flew to Little Rock, Arkansas for I Love America rally, which I don't think is legal now. That's probably just the NCAA regulations. We were going out there. He shared with me his vision for Liberty or Lynchburg Baptist College at the time, and he asked me, he said, you know, what do you want to do? And I said, well, you know, Dr. Falwell, I want to play football, obviously, but I played baseball too, and I'd like to be able to play baseball. And at UNC, they weren't going to allow me to do that. And he goes, well, I tell you what, if you commit to me, you can come up here and you can play baseball and you can play football. And by the way, he goes, you know, our campus is on, you live on an island. I said, really? You know, an island? He goes, yeah. I drive up and I've got tennis rackets, I've got fishing rods hanging out of my car, I've got a shotgun in the front seat. You know, I'm expected to go, you know, to a summer camp where I'm going to be hunting and fishing and playing tennis every day, but it was a little bit different than that on Treasure Island.
Smith's first time on a college campus was not what he expected, and his first spring football practice was not what most top high school recruits were experiencing at that time.
The very first spring, they actually invited anybody that wanted to play. We had guys that had never put equipment on. In fact, we didn't even have equipment. I had to use my high school helmet. No facilities. We didn't have a weight room. All the things that they have today, you know, we had none of that.
In time, new equipment, new coaches, and new players were in place. And Smith, the first scholarship athlete for football, would be the first to do a whole lot more.
I was fortunate enough to score the very first touchdown in the school's history. I was the first 1,000-yard rusher. I was the very first captain.
And that same year, Lynchburg Baptist College started its baseball program with their star football player playing second base and batting leadoff.
The very first game against Virginia Wesleyan, I went 5 for 6 with a leadoff single. So I had the very first hit in the school's history. I don't take credit for any of that. Again, my teammates, especially in football, were responsible for any accolades that I won as a player. Any yard that I rushed, they blocked for me. We had some good players during that time. Played on a team that beat the University of South Carolina when they were ranked #1 in the nation. I think God brought us together. He used me, I think, as a catalyst.
When Smith's college football career ended in 1976, he had amassed 1,500-yard games, 33 rushing touchdowns, and more than 3,300 total rushing yards. This averaged out to be about 101 yards per game. In baseball, this 4-year letterman and team captain also led the team with a .454 batting average. Because the full varsity football schedule didn't begin at Liberty until 1976, many of Smith's statistical honors are not officially noted in the NCAA record books. But Smith says it's not the awards or the statistics that he remembers the most, it's the relationships.
My closest friends today were my teammates at Liberty that I love like brothers, and they love me and we love the school.
With every athlete he trains, Smith takes the time to share and to serve.
We use our business as a ministry. Everybody that comes in here, we tell them that they're here for a reason. God's led them here. We tell them our priorities in life, first and foremost, is our relationship with Jesus Christ. And second is our family and our vocation and avocation. And with that, we hold ourselves to a higher standard than the way we coach. They know that I love them and I care about them unconditionally. I hope they play for as long as they want to play. But they're going to know there's an old white dude in Norcross, Georgia that loves them and cares for them and will do anything in the world for them. And that's why when they come in here, this is their house. This is the house that they built.
I love that piece.
Yeah.
One thing that blows me away about this, the fact that this guy comes in, he's a top recruit,
Yeah.
United States, and then he comes to the school. There's basically nothing for you there. You bring in your own equipment to play. The guys have never played the sports before, basically, and you stick around for all 4 years. Like, I wonder sometimes if he was like, man, if I had gone away, maybe I could have been, a top NCAA guy somewhere else.
Yeah, it shows you how much it meant to him and the character of him. Also, I love the fact that, he's trained all these top pro athletes, and yet it matters more about the people, right? He says, come back, I'm here, I'm your friend. Anybody can train these guys, but to be a friend like that to them, that's something special. So a really cool story. Thanks for John Pratt for that piece.